So you decided to join the law enforcement field. Maybe you want to become a police officer, auxiliary, a court officer, even a special constable. Well, your family, your friends, and the references you provide, they're going to have to answer some pretty tough questions about you. So today I'm going to cover 15 common questions that are asked by recruiters during the police reference check.
So do you have a criminal record?
No.
Can you read or write?
ABCD.
All right, I want you to submit an application online tomorrow, okay? You sound perfect.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, I'm just going to add, just like any other job, any other career, when you apply, you have to provide references. Having said that, the recruiters or the background officers, they may also contact and interview people who you did not provide as references. That's just the way it is. Before someone becomes a cop, before they don the badge, there's a crucial step. Background checks and character references. Probing questions posed to references, showcasing the candidate's character like a spotlight on a darkened street. These questions are obviously going to differ than somebody entering the corporate field. However, it's important to really try and reveal the qualities that truly separate the protectors from everybody else. I've actually gone over some of these questions with recruiters and background officers right across the entire country. And something that's important to know is these questions may be asked of your references whether you're a brand new recruit, so you're just entering the law enforcement field, or if you're an experienced police officer moving from one police service to another. So without further ado, let's get into these. Number 1, how long have you known this person? This sounds easy enough. I mean, you can't really provide a proper in-depth character reference on somebody you've only known for a few weeks or a few months. Number 2, what could make this person lose their temper? Well, that sounds easy enough, but it's really not. I mean, let's face it, the world doesn't need any more hot-blooded, hot-tempered cops out there. Now, losing your temper, that could be subjective. If I raise my voice, that doesn't necessarily mean I lost my temper. I chose to raise my voice to get a point across, or that's just what the situation called for. So you're going to have to answer this question. Now, the recruiter or the background officer, they may decide to dig into your answer a little bit deeper, depending on the answer that you give. Number 3, how does this person handle stress? Anybody you listed as a character reference is probably going to know how you handle stress. And we all handle stress different. Some people go for a walk. Some people read. I listen to music and I go for long walks. We all have a way of dealing with stress. Some people turn to alcohol. There's, of course, we know there's lots of unhealthy ways to deal with stress. Now, before I go on to number 4, something that's important, if your answers to the first few questions here are, this person never gets stressed out. They never raise their voice. They never lost their temper. They're just calm, cool, and collective all the time. Well, listen, that's not going to fly either. We all have ways of dealing with stress, of dealing with pressure. And to say that this person has just never shown any sign of stress their entire life, that's just not going to fly. All right, so number 4. How does this person handle social situations? Now, this could mean anything, and you are allowed to ask this background officer or the recruiter some clarifying questions. What do you mean by this? Social situations. Do they avoid social situations? Are they okay in a social situation? If they walk into a room and it's busy and people want to chat, does this person move away? Are they quiet? Are they reserved? Or can they actually carry on a conversation? It might sound like an odd question because as an adult, you should be able to carry a conversation. But let me tell you, there's been police officers hired that are very, very analytical. They're very, very smart, but they actually have a hard time in social situations. They have a hard time carrying on a regular conversation with people that they don't know. Number 5, have you had a major disagreement with this person? And if you have, how was it handled? They're not looking for a big extravagant story where you guys had a disagreement. Next thing you know, you're ready to go at one another. It can be very simple. Number 6, what personality trait could this person improve on? A true friend, any of your family members, and certainly somebody who you listed as a character reference, they're going to be able to let the interviewer know something that you could improve on. I mean, unless your answer is going to be, once again, no, this person is absolutely perfect in every single way. That, again, just won't fly. Number 7, how would you describe their social skills? That sounds very similar to a previous question, but how a person handles a social situation is different than how you would describe their social skills. Again, if you're confused, ask a clarifying question. Number 8, is this person respectful of authority? Might seem like an odd question. However, the police service is a paramilitary organization, whether they want to admit it or not, but there's a rank and file structure, and you absolutely must be respectful of authority. Number 9, can you please tell me about the person's drug and alcohol use? How often? Maybe you know this answer, but maybe you don't. And what I mean by that is some of the drug and alcohol consumption, it might not be public knowledge, or it might not be knowledge to you anyways. Back in college, sure, maybe they drank too much and they smartened up, they got a job, and they realized they took with responsibilities in life, that action changed. However, maybe now they're addicted to sleeping pills. You never know these things. Just answer to the best of your ability. Number 10, do they gamble and how often? This may be a tricky one as well, not because they're trying to trip you up or anything, but gambling. Do they go to the casino once a week? Are they wasting their money? No? Fine. Maybe they're addicted to scratch tickets and they're spending $100 a week on scratch tickets, which, may fall under that category of gambling. You don't know. Again, answer to the best of your ability. Number 11, have you seen them work with minorities or groups other than their own? Good question. Depending on your answer, the interviewer may dig a little bit more. Was this a school project? Was this a work initiative? Just, again, answer to the best of your ability. Number 12, any work absentee issues? Straightforward enough. Number 13, are you aware of any complaints regarding workplace harassment? Again, they're not trying to trip you up or anything, but let's say there is an active workplace harassment investigation ongoing with this person, but you work with this person and you're actively involved as well, and now you say no. Well, basically, you just lied to the recruiter, you lied to the background officer, so they're not going to take your word for it, but they won't take your word for any of the answers that you've given. So again, just like that, they're not trying to trick you, but just like that, you could ruin their chances. Be open, be honest. 14, are you aware of any workplace initiatives this person came up with and implemented? If you're a coworker, this is the perfect time to build them up. Talk about their leadership skills, how they took initiative, their communication skills, and so forth. Number 15, can you tell me anything else about this person that would make them a good candidate for a police officer? When you are considering whether or not somebody would be a good police officer or not, consider them answering a radio call to your own address, dealing with your mother, your father, your sisters, your siblings. How would you trust this person to attend the address in an emergency and deal with your family members? If so, then I think with sincerity, you would be able to actually give this person a good character reference to be a police officer. Now, here I am providing these questions for you, which are very common questions. And maybe you're thinking, all right, I'm going to use this person as a reference and I'm going to give them these questions. We're going to get our story straight. We'll make something up. That's fine. Well, if they decide to do a little bit of digging, the recruiters or the background officers to do a little digging and then also bring up these answers and ask you to dig into it a little bit more during your interview or another stage of the hiring process, and something doesn't match up, again, you're done. It's happened in the past where people have been removed from the process because they've elaborated, they've lied on something they thought was maybe nothing. I'll give you an example. This has actually happened. Somebody writes down that their primary language is English, but they can also speak French or Italian or Spanish. And then guess what? During the interview, so they write this on their application form, during the interview, they bring in somebody who speaks Italian and they're going to interview in Italian. Well, you said that you spoke fluent Italian, but now during the interview, they find out that's not the case. Well, guess what? I mean, is that a good show of integrity right there? No, it's not. And you're removed from the process. That's just an example. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment. I read every comment, and when it's appropriate, I do respond. So until the next video, be safe out there, look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.